Mr. Speaker, I invite the member to refer to MOE's response to questions number 40 and 41, filed by the member for written answer in the order paper for the 5th of November 2025, where MOE has addressed this issue in detail, but I'll provide some further details specific to the question that Mr. Shawn Loh has also filed for today. There are conditions imposed on the types of courses that the SkillsFuture Credit can be used for to ensure that the courses taken meet our policy intent. For example, the $4,000 SkillsFuture Credit mid-career top-up targets mid-careerists aged 40 and above and can only be used for curated courses with stronger employment objectives. On the other hand, immediate relevance to employment is not the objective of the opening SkillsFuture Credit of $500, which is intended to encourage lifelong learning and skills development across different life stages. Overall, across SSG-supported training, 8 in 10 learners find the course content relevant to their work.
Mr. Loh.
Mr. Speaker, I thank the SMS for the response, and I've read the response in the earlier replies over the last few days. I've also read the responses to other PQs filed by other members of Parliament. Many members of Parliament across both sides of the aisle have focused on the utilization of SkillsFuture credits and how to increase the utilization. I think that's a wrong question. I think we should be asking how SkillsFuture credits are helping to address the greater economic challenge of this time, which is how it improves the culture of lifelong learning so that it leads to better skills acquisition for better jobs. I take the SMS's point that the SkillsFuture credits are first and foremost meant to improve the culture of lifelong learning. To that end, I would like to ask the SMS whether the Ministry or the government has measured that improvement in the culture of lifelong learning, and whether it can measure also the translation from that culture of lifelong learning to a culture of skills acquisition that is industry relevant. And for future tranches of the SkillsFuture credits, would the SMS agree that it would be better for our taxpayers' dollars to help encourage Singaporeans to acquire those skills that can help them get good jobs? Thank you.
SMS Janil.
So I thank Mr. Loh for his question, as well as his considered view on what the SkillsFuture credits and the interventions should be targeted to achieving. The short answer to all of his questions is yes, and we will continue to try to do better and develop more data on these issues. We do already work along this track. Indeed, we have part of the funding focused on developing the culture, and then part of the funding focused on creating opportunities for employment opportunity development. In other words, in mid-career, to create the opportunity for someone to transition into another career and have fulfilling employment as a result. We work with the sector agencies, with industry partners. We map out manpower needs to identify jobs and skills gaps. And we do want to then curate the training programs with the training providers to close those gaps. Is the culture of lifelong learning improving? The data would suggest it is. If you look at the number of courses, number of training providers, and the demand for that type of effort on the supply side. And there we do also have to look at some component of utilization of SkillsFuture Credit, perhaps as a marker then of the take-up of lifelong learning opportunities. I take his point that that's not the only metric that we should focus on. We also look at job posting data. We do research together with the economic agencies to then make sure that we are achieving the kind of outcomes that he articulated. Of course, the provision of training through SkillsFuture is not the only thing that then leads to the economic outcomes that he has focused on, but it is something that we have to contribute towards. And we review our policies, we review our programs to enhance the accessibility, quality, and outcomes of our SSG-supported careers. So I thank him for his suggestions, and indeed, these are things that we are working towards.